Right. Our last speaker is Jonathan, and he is going to talk through some of the detail of the Declaration of Rights, which is obviously really, really important and something that we want to discuss in the breakout rooms. Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
Thanks very much, Marie, and thanks so much for the other speakers. That was really illuminating and quite moving, actually. Okay, so the Declaration, I'm just going to share my screen briefly, just to direct people to where you can find it. So that's on our website, the Together Against COVID-19 website, and that's the menu option, and that's what it looks like. So the first thing I want to say is this is your document, i.e. the whole conference and every person who's in it. We really want you to have a look at it. If you haven't had a chance to read it, please do at some point, maybe in the breaks or something like that. I hope some people have managed to read it for this workshop. But, this is the organizing committee's kind of first attempt to bring together what we feel about the COVID situation and sort of charting the way forward, to give us a roadmap, not so much in terms of, at this stage, and this is what we want the conference to do, setting out exactly step by step, but the kind of overall ethos, if you like, a mission statement, something like that. And we've taken the idea really from the HIV/AIDS movement, which Joseph mentioned. If you look back in the sort of late 70s, early 80s, the AIDS movement was pretty much the same as where we're at now in the COVID movement. In other words, lots of individuals and small organizations doing their own thing and doing a great job, but no kind of coming together, coordination, and a common policy, some common goals, and so on. So this is an attempt to sort of copy that and bring us all together. So if you're talking to somebody who's new to this and so on, they say, well, what's it all about? What are you trying to do? You can say, well, have a read of this document. That sets it out. And what it says effectively, excuse me, is we've been terribly let down by the authorities and the institutions. We can't rely on them. We've got to rely on ourselves, while at the same time continuing to bang at the door and say, oi, do your job, look after the public, look after the citizens, and protect us from these airborne hazards. Not only airborne pathogens like COVID and flu and RSV and so on, sorry, but pollutants and allergens and so on, as Hilda was pointing out. So I'm not going to go through the detail of it, but it basically makes that assertion and says, we demand the right to clean air. We have clean water and hygienic food. And for people who may not be aware, we had to battle, we being the people, if you like, citizens, working people in the 19th century, to get clean water and clean food in the early part of the 20th century, because once again, those in power didn't think it was very important for the rank and file, if you like. So we demand those things. So what we would like to do and ask you to do during these workshops and the breakout rooms is to have a look at the opening sort of paragraphs of it. If you want to make any changes, take stuff out you don't like, put in stuff that's not there, please put your suggestions in the Google document, in the chat. But then specifically in the workplace, which is the theme of this conference, we want you to say, okay, what can we do practically? What does it mean practically in our workplace? We want clean air in the workplace. We want it especially in the canteen and other congregate spaces. What about the toilets and corridors and storage cupboards, right? What about doing risk assessments and ventilation audits and so on? And hazards in particular have done great work. There's lots and lots of resources around. What are we going to demand specifically of the employer? How are we going to get our trade union branch members involved and on board so we can campaign together? Because we know we've got to take our members with us when we make demands in the workplace. So I won't go on any longer. That's the sort of theme of it. Once again, just to stress, it's your document. And what we're going to do at the end of the conference is bring together all the contributions, suggestions, and ideas for this and present it at the final plenary session and adopt it together as our document going forward. It'll go on the website and be a resource going forward. Okay, I'll stop there. Thanks so much.